Hi, happy Friday, and welcome from sunny Florida to Torah Today. So relevant today, just like it was yesterday. You know, in life, there are two positions, really, the giver and the taker. Isn't it all possible to be always in the mode of the giver? I'd love to explore that with you. But first, let's get to the Parsha story. Parshat Terumah. Hashem instructs Moshe to make a menorah, a candelabrum. Now, the details of that were so specific and so intricate that Moshe is totally baffled and cannot figure out how to do it. And finally, Hashem says, Miksha te'aseh. This menorah should be hammered out. It should be done. Not ta'aseh, you will make it, but it will be made. Moshe was so baffled that in the end Hashem said, take the piece of gold in your hand, throw it into a fire, and the menorah emerged a completed product. One of the features of the menorah were the gviot, the cups. There were 3 cups on each of the 7 branches and one towards the base. What was the purpose of these cups? And you know, interestingly, the cups were overturned. They were not placed in an upright position. Why? So this is really in sync with the entire mantra and paradigm of the sanctuary and of the temple, for that matter. The purpose was not to bring in light from the outside. The purpose was to send light, divinity, Torah, wisdom, and truth from the sanctuary, from inside to the outside world. And therefore, one of the very fascinating concepts was that the windows were made in such a way, not that they were narrow on the outside and wider on the inside to bring in the sunlight, which is how all windows were constructed then, but just the opposite. It was narrow on the inside and wider on the outside so that the light from the temple can resonate, can go outwards. Back to the question of the cup. Why was the cup overturned? Let's think of the example of pouring wine in a cup. So the wine is in the cup, it's temporarily holding the wine, but really the purpose is to pour that drink into another cup, to share it with somebody else. So even though for a short time it is a container, really its primary focus and purpose is to pour into somebody else's cup, goblet, etc. And this is the message of the Torah, really, in short. Hashem wants us to take a position of being a giver. That cup that's overturned, always ready to share with somebody else. You know, a Roman nobleman once challenged Rabbi Akiva and said, I don't understand. You're a omnipotent God. Why did he need to create poor people? Why poverty? Couldn't he just make everybody well-to-do? Who needs the suffering? Rabbi Akiva responded immediately. It is because he wanted to give us the privilege of partnering with him in his kindness so that we could share our portion with somebody else. Within each of our portion is an allotment to share with somebody else. It's almost like we are God's bankers. And so I wanted to take a few minutes because this really got me thinking, this concept of giving and taking. And back to the question, can I always be in that state of giving? And I really think yes. Even if I have to take something from somebody, how can I turn that into a giving experience? Firstly, acknowledge sincerely, with warmth and appreciation, what the giver did for you. And there you are, giving the other satisfaction. Or take the example and pass on that giving spirit. And then that taking has become the impetus, it's the cause for a chain of giving. And really, we need to remember, it's always better to give than to take. For in giving, you receive. And you know, we really only have what we are ready to give away. Think about that. It's so powerful. And you and I together, let us ask Hashem to overturn His cup and pour His blessing into ours endlessly. Varikoti lachem bracha ad bli dai. May He pour the blessings, the obvious good, and of course the redemption and victory in every sense of the word, into our cups, into our lives. Have a beautiful day. How many times a day can we be givers?